Hey, I'm Kanisha. I'm here to talk about my favorite shows with queer women. I've got a list of 50 shows that I've ranked. My criteria is simple. It's based on how much I like the show overall and the amount of queer content, including any subtext or potential queerness. Obviously, this is a list of shows that I've seen. If your favorite show didn't make my list, it might be because I haven't seen it. This video is a little different. I'm only revealing 4 shows instead of 5 this time. And that's because my next grouping of shows have something in common that's based on my criteria, and I'd rather talk about them all together instead of breaking them up in different videos. And I'll explain more about that in the next video. So today I'm doing shows number 30 to 27, and number 30 on my list is Sense8. I watched the show for this channel, and I vaguely remember hearing about Sense8 when I was in college, and at the time I just never got around to watching it, but I watched it pretty recently, and I really enjoyed the show. It is a sci-fi show, so of course I love that, and the premise of the show is really interesting, and it's just fascinating. It's a fascinating thought to consider. Like, the idea is that there are these 8 people who are mysteriously connected, and they work together to try and figure out what's happening to them. And it's a cool mystery. It's just like a fascinating idea, how that they are connected in the show. So I really enjoyed the mystery. I really enjoyed learning about these characters and what makes them unique and what makes them, like, what the connection was. That was interesting for me to like watch along and figure out and see where it all goes. And I love that there are quite a few queer characters. There's Lito and Hernando, who's like my favorite couple from Sense8. I love their relationship. I love their friendship with their friend Danny. If you watch my videos on Sense8, you know I call them LHD as a shorthand, and I just always love them. I love every scene that they're in. So yeah, they're hands down my favorite people on Sense8. There's also Nomi and Amanita, which is a great couple, and I was surprised that there was another character that ended up being a queer woman, and I very much appreciate that she was a queer black woman. So I love seeing that. Again, like when I talked about Sense8 in my videos for Sense8 on the channel, I did mention that kind of sucks we didn't see more of this third character that's queer. And we got told about it, and we didn't get to see it, and I'm disappointed by that. But anyway, that's not a huge deal overall. And Sense8 it's a great show. There are no bad episodes in Sense8, which is very impressive. And I love that they, like, I don't know what the situation was with the show getting canceled. But I do love that they were able to finish the story, and that does not happen a lot. So I very much appreciate that they got that opportunity and were able to wrap everything up. So Sense8 overall was a very good show. I'm glad I watched it. It was very enjoyable, and there's like plenty of queer women in that show. So yeah, I got it at 30. Number 29 on my list is Wynonna Earp. This is another fantasy show, of course. And this was like a really fun show. I think it's based off of some comics, if I'm remembering correctly. But the show itself is really fun. The premise for the show is like the descendant of Wyatt Earp, like comes back to this cursed land. I think it seems like a cursed land. So she comes back to this cursed land and is like it's her duty to send these demonic beings called revenants back to hell using her great 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 granddad's magical gun. That's basically what it is. And it's like, it's just fun. And of course she's like a reluctant hero. And like, I mean, the family is cursed, the land is cursed. It's not like a happy thing that she's doing. It's not like, not necessarily saving the world. So there's not all this grandiose rewards that she gets from doing all this. It's just, it's a curse. And I just like seeing the character Winona kind of go through all these like trials and tribulations, learn about herself. Like it's crazy, magical, supernatural stuff going on in the show. So of course I like all of that kind of stuff. And it's just a fun show. And of course the main queer couple in that show is Waverly and Nicole. I really like I like how they got together in season 1. I like the journey that they go on in season 1 and how they get together. It's a really enjoyable watch. And it's nice to see like these two women falling in love and like getting a lot of scenes together. And it's nice to see that they're not just the lesbians on the show, which I feel like can happen on some shows, but their stories are so involved with the supernatural things going on, so they're not like they are. It kind of feels like their love story is like not their whole purpose for being on the show, if that makes any sense. Sometimes I feel like shows throw in like LGBT characters just to like check a box, it feels like. But the way that Nicole and Waverly and how their story plays out and how they are integral to the show overall and Winona's story, it just feels, I don't know, it just feels better. It feels more like intelligent and thoughtful how they are incorporated into the show. And I really love them together, and I love their part in the show. So it's a great show if you love fantasy like I do. It's exactly what you need. So yeah, I've got Winona Earp 29 for those reasons. Number 28 on my list is Harley Quinn. This is such a fun show. I mean, if you're not into like adult humor, then I guess this isn't for you. But if you don't mind that sort of stuff, this is a great show. It's super funny. The way that these characters are portrayed is so funny and very different. Like, it's a totally different take on these like classic DC characters, and it's just fun. And I really love how the first episode puts Harley on this kind of journey of discovery, and she realizes that she doesn't need to be with the Joker anymore. So that's great to see, because I think generally that relationship of Harley and the Joker is super toxic, but I mean, they're super villains, so I guess it fits that they would not care about that. If you're thinking about like real world sort of implications for that relationship, but I guess it doesn't really matter. But anyway, I just love that this show takes Harley in a different direction from the past iterations of her just being so in love with the Joker for, I don't know why she would like him, but that's what they did, and this show is different, and I just really love how they decided to move forward with Harley and her trying to be independent. And then, of course, like, the show just goes off the rails. It's so, like, just, it's so crazy. It's, like, wacky feels, like, not the right word. Wacky feels too, like, rated G for this show, but it kind of is wacky and absurd and hilarious. And I just really enjoy watching this show. And I also love that Harley and Ivy get together, and the way that that happens is really interesting. I feel like, it happens in a, not a weird way, but it's the circumstances, I guess, are weird. Not the fact that they got together, but just the circumstances around how they realize that they are attracted to each other. It's just funny and crazy and wacky and all of that. But I love their relationship. I love how seriously the show takes their relationship. I love that we get to see them working through their issues instead of breaking up and making up over and over again. So it's just nice to see that relationship be handled so well, in my opinion. And it's just, I don't know, it's really enjoyable for me. And of course, like, the superhero stuff, that's all fantasy, so I'm down with that. And yeah, I just think it's a really enjoyable show if you're not too, I don't know, distracted or like turned off about the adult humor and there's gory violence. So if you can stomach all of that, Harley Quinn is a really enjoyable show. And those are the reasons that I have it at, what did I say, 28? 28. I decided to put Harley Quinn ahead of Winona Earp because the main character is a LGBT woman. So for me, the show gets points based on my criteria. So yeah, that's why I had Harley Quinn ahead of Winona Earp, and I have Harley Quinn at 28. Number 27 on my list is Supergirl. So my criteria, including potential queerness, is where this really matters. I really enjoyed seasons 1 through 3 of Supergirl. I remember it being on CBS to start, and I really enjoyed season 1. There was an element of, like, Monster of the Week in that season, but still, which I guess your opinions on that can vary. Like, I don't hate that kind of stuff. I think it can be very interesting to have TV episodes just be serialized instead of one, I don't know, a long movie broken up into pieces or something. So that kind of stuff didn't bother me, and I just really liked all of the relationships that happened in season 1. I really enjoyed Kara's struggle with balancing work and trying to be a superhero. I loved Cat Grant in season 1. Her presence in the show is, like, her presence uplifts the show, in my opinion. And her character, her performance, it was just amazing to see. And I don't know, it just gave that show like something special for that one season, and I really enjoyed it. And then seasons 2 and 3 were really good for me. I think season 2, Lena and Luthor appeared, and that's very critical for this ranking. But yeah, it's like the first 3 seasons I really loved. And then some behind the scenes stuff happened and changes were made, and the following seasons I didn't love as much. But like overall, for Supergirl, I enjoyed the show. I enjoyed watching a lot of it. And there's a podcast I listen to for Supergirl that really enhances my enjoyment of the show. And I am including like that community, the podcast community, with my ranking, because they made me enjoy the show a lot more when I wasn't really loving the episodes. So thanks to them for that. And I do like Supergirl overall. I think it's a good show. It has its low points, but I liked it overall, and it really helped that I love Kara and Lena together. I am definitely a Supercorp shipper. This is where potential queerness comes into play for my criteria. That romantic relationship would have been maybe the best story ever told for lesbian characters. Like, there was so much there that it could have been great. If the writers decided to go in that direction, that would have been like the best love story on television, I think. It would have been, man, I would have loved to see that. And I think it would have been exceptional. I think it would have been outstanding. So, potential queerness, those two characters, that has a lot to do with why I have Supergirl ranked 27. I will mention that there's also Alex Danvers and Kelly Olsen as a lesbian couple on the show. They have really good story and like how they get together. There was also Alex and Maggie, which was a relationship that didn't last, but it was also like a good relationship. Like, I had problems with how fast it started, but like when they were together, I enjoyed them, and it was really sad that the character Maggie didn't last that long on the show. So that's a bummer, but it is nice to see that Alex was able to find someone else and be happy. So I appreciate that. And I have to say that I liked Kara and Lena as a couple way more than I liked Alex with anyone else. Even though Alex is a lesbian character and Kara and Lena are not on the show, like, doesn't matter to me. I definitely was more invested in Kara and Lena's relationship than I was with Alex with anyone else. So, I mean, I wish I would have liked Alex and Kelly together, but it was okay. I just didn't feel as much for them as I felt with Kara and Lena. And I just feel like Kara and Lena's untold story of how they could have been a couple was just like more interesting to me than Alex with Kelly or Alex with Maggie. And I don't know, that's just how I feel about it. I mean, I wish I could appreciate Alex and Kelly more, but I just don't feel the same way about those two that I feel with Kara and Lena. I don't know. That's just how I feel. So, Kara and Lena and their potential as a romantic couple has a lot to do with why I put them at 27. Like, I enjoyed half of the show overall, and like half of it didn't love as much, like watching by myself, but I was part of a podcast community that made me enjoy the show a little more than me just watching it on my own. So So for that, and for Carolina, I have Supergirl as number 27 on my list. And I don't know, it's my list, so you know, that's what I've decided to do. So that's number 30 to 27 of my top 50 favorite shows with queer women. Last thing before I go, let me know in the comments, which of these shows have you seen? And if you made a list, which show would you put higher than I did? I'm very excited to see your answer. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. If you're a queer black woman who has grown up barely seeing any black LGBT women on TV, especially compared to white women, then you've probably thought there aren't a lot of girls like me. Maybe that has made you grow up feeling like you shouldn't be black and queer. Maybe you struggled to fit in with other black people when you were in high school or college. Maybe it's made you not want to speak up about your queerness. Or maybe you never really tried to find characters who look like you on TV. Maybe you just waited and hoped to see them in a show. And now you're an adult and you still think there aren't many queer black women on TV. Well, I've got good news. There are way more TV characters who are queer black women than you think, and I'll help you find them. If you're serious about wanting to see more queer black women on TV, then the next step for you is to watch my video series called The Biggest Problem for All Queer Black Women Watching TV. In it, I'll tell you what the biggest problem is and the easiest, simplest, best solution to find TV characters who are queer black women. Click the link in the description to get access. But warning, this may not be for you, and that's okay. If you don't care about seeing more queer black women on TV, then you don't need this. You can move on with the rest of your day. This is for you if you grew up thinking, since there's no one like me on TV, maybe I shouldn't feel this way. Maybe I shouldn't think that girl is fine. Well, that's not true. I found over 150 TV characters who are queer black women. And that girl that you know is fine. Ain't nothing wrong with you. But seriously, I'll teach you how I found queer black women on TV in my video series. Just click the link in the description.